Hello everyone, welcome to lesson number 2 in my series called Learn the Basics of French. My name is Anton Kunin. Today we'll pick up from where we stopped last time. Last time we looked at the names of some countries. Today we'll study more countries. We'll also take a look at some languages. Then we'll talk about some grammar, about the groups of verbs, and finally we'll take some phrases for daily communication. Okay, so let's get started. Here we have some countries again. So we'll have the name of the country on the left, and on the right you see the names of nationalities. So as you remember, M stands for masculine and F will stand for feminine. So both forms are represented here. Okay, so now I'll read them to you, so just listen, compare the spelling to what you can hear. Okay. La Chine, chinois, chinoise. La Russie, russe, russe. L'Espagne, espagnol, espagnol. La Pologne, polonais, polonaise. Okay, so let's have a look at some more. La Belgique, belge, belge. L'Allemagne, allemand, allemande. Le Canada, canadien, canadienne. Le Maroc, marocain, marocaine. Okay, those are the countries and the nationalities we have for today. So let's move on. Let's have a look at some languages as well. So what I'll read now is I'll read the name of the country on the left, and then I'll read the name of the language on the right. Okay? So, la France, le français. Les États-Unis, l'anglais. L'Italie, l'italien. Le Brésil, le portugais. La Chine, le chinois. La Russie, le russe. L'Espagne, l'espagnol. La Pologne, le polonais. La Belgique, here we have several languages. L'allemand, le français, le néerlandais. So allemand means German, and néerlandais will stand for Dutch. So let's continue. L'Allemagne, l'allemand. Le Canada, l'anglais, le français. Le Maroc, l'arabe, le français. Okay. Now let's have a look at some grammar. So today we'll talk about the groups of verbs, and in French there are 3 groups of verbs. And what is the meaning of all this? That is that each group has its own endings. So the first group has the ending er. So all the verbs of the first group end in er. As an example, we can take dessiner, communiquer. You see er at the end. The second group, we'll leave it for the moment. We'll talk about it later. But now let's have a look at group number 3, the third group. In the third group, you will find all the irregular verbs, all the exceptions. So when we're talking about the third group, you don't have to look for any logic, there is none. So everything that belongs to the third group is exceptions. But you have to be careful because, as I say, in the first group we'll have everything that is er, right? But if you take a verb that ends in er, that will not automatically mean that it belongs to the first group. It can as well belong to the third group. So it's a good idea when you note any new verbs in a vocabulary book, it's a good idea to note the verb together with the group it belongs to. Okay? This way you will know how to conjugate it, because let's change the slide. And here you see the first group. So parler, it's an example of the first group. And why did I say that it is an example? It is because those endings that you see in red here will be common to all the verbs of the first group. Okay, so you may learn this verb only, and it will give you a key to all the verbs of the first group. So let's have a closer look. So parler means to speak. And let's draw a parallel with English here. In English, when we say to speak, it can mean two things. It can mean to be able to speak a language, like we can say, I speak German, I speak Japanese, but it also means the act of speaking, like who is speaking at the moment, Mark is speaking. Okay? So in French, it's the same things, two meanings. Right. So let's take a look at the forms. I'll read them for you. So, je parle, tu parles, il parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle. Okay. And as you see, the endings are marked in red. So here they are. E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. And I encourage you to learn these endings without putting it off until later, because it's really something useful. It's very good to learn it from the beginning. Okay? But now let's continue. So why did I talk about this verb? I decided to take it because it's very useful to say in which languages you can speak. I not only mean your native language, but any languages that you are fluent in. You can say je parle plus langue, as shown here. So langue is a French word for language. So you just say je parle plus and then all the languages that you can speak. Okay, for example, we can say je parle français, je parle chinois. Okay, you can say the same thing for yourself and for any other people you know as well. Okay, let's continue. Let's look at the next slide. So here we have the verb aller. Aller means to go. As you see, aller belongs to the third group, and that is why I also advise you to learn the forms of this verb without delaying. Okay. What do we have here? Je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. Okay, so aller, it's a very common verb. It's also very much used because it's one of the auxiliary verbs they use in French. Okay, that is why you will need it very often. So now I'd like you to repeat after me. Let's read it together. Je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. Okay, great. So why did I say that this verb is very common? It's also common because you use it to ask people how they're doing. So you can say, comment allez-vous? Je vais bien, merci. Et vous? So this is an example of a formal conversation. So as you can see here, they say vous. Comment allez-vous? Vous, which is always evidence of formal conversations. Je vais bien, merci. Et vous? And again, you're asking, et vous? So what do you have here? Comment allez-vous? How are you doing? Je vais bien, merci. Je vais bien, it means I'm well, I'm doing well. Je vais bien. Bien means well. And merci means thank you, because it's polite to say thank you to the other person because they have asked. Okay? Je vais bien, merci. And then it's also polite to ask them how they are doing. So in French you say et vous?